Donald Trump tweets out, posts on Truth Social, we should terminate the Constitution to rerun that election. Do you understand why I think that's a problem when Donald Trump takes an oath at the beginning of his term to uphold the Constitution?
See, for me, the whole argument of I hear what you said. I'm not running from it. But my issue here, the Constitution is almighty and all perfect, and there needs to be no amendments. Then we never would have abolished.
We're not talking about amendments. We're not talking about amendments. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Rinyald. And if you disagree with anything in the video, make sure you join the Discord and we can have a chat sometime.
Good, dude. What's going on?
Just hanging out. Having a chat about electoralism for some reason. Do you have any particular thing you want to chat about, or do you want me to give like my opinion on something?
I mean, I'm a Trump supporter. I'll give you that. I'm in my early 40s. You don't seem like a Trump fan to me. Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, what makes you far from it?
A lot of stuff. I mean, I think he's an ineffective leader. I think the fact that he has 56 Republicans in the Senate and multiple like huge pieces of legislation still had to go to tie-breaking votes from Vance because he couldn't bring Congress together, I think is a bad sign. I think that he's a very divisive figure. I think all of his aims are basically trying to excise any power from the Democrats instead of trying to work with the Democrats to achieve any sort of legislation. I think that the fact that he ran on the border and then called Congress people to kill the border bill and then didn't propose any sort of alternative to the border bill and is basically just trying to fund ICE and use emergency powers in order to do border policy is really, really bad. I think that he generally just has a contempt for the Constitution, and I'm a big constitutionalist, so that's a big problem for me. I think Doge was a failure. I don't like the tariffs, but that's a lot to work with, so I'll let you take.
Well, that is a lot. That's a lot, dude. You try to get it out with all the MAGA supporters that come in here, like get all the frustrations off your chest, huh? So anyway,
I mean, we can take it one by one. If you disagree with any of these points, we can go.
I do. I agree. I think you talk about ineffective leaders. Okay, you look at like Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer's biggest gripe on the big beautiful bill is I want the name changed to the act. Okay, that is laughable.
Was that his biggest gripe with the bill?
Yeah, pretty much it was. Yeah, that was laughable. I'm going to move that we change the name of the bill. It's still passed, and it's one of the largest pieces of an order that was ever passed. Okay, it had a lot in the bill. How many pages was it?
Like 900 from a party that was complaining about pork in the immigration bill.
You're telling me that he's an ineffective leader.
Yeah.
When this is literally, he made history with passing that bill, dude. That is history as we know it.
You understand that he has like a giant majority in Congress, and it still came down to a tie-breaking vote, and he still had Republicans in the House stymieing him the whole time, right? Like this was not a popular bill, and I'm pretty sure doesn't the beautiful bill have like negative popular support among the people?
Yeah, but listen, to me that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. Because
if I'm talking about being an effective leader, if I'm talking about representing the people,
no.
Hold on. If we're talking about representing the people in an effective way, being an effective leader, we probably shouldn't have a budget bill coming down to a tiebreaker vote from Vance. We probably shouldn't have like negative popular support amongst the people for a bill like that, when the president's job and Congress's job is to represent the people. We live in a constitutional republic. A republic elects representatives. It doesn't elect people who just do partisan policy just for the sake of it.
I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. We live in a democracy, as you guys say, okay? We elected Donald Trump to build his cabinet and put the right people in there and pass bills such as this. Okay, now, moving forward, I don't even want to go that deep on the big beautiful bill, because at the end of the day, it's all circumstantial stuff. because you're not going to agree with anything. You're going to say
there's some okay
Medicaid,
stuff.
USID.
There's some okay stuff in the beautiful bill. All right, I'm not a partisan hack. Okay, I don't like the bill, but there's some okay. I mean, 900 pages worth of legislation is probably going to have some okay to decent stuff. I'm not going to sit here and say that Donald Trump has never done a good thing in his life. I'm saying that, you know, someone who we elect to uphold the Constitution, who takes an oath to uphold the Constitution, probably shouldn't be making remarks like we need to terminate the Constitution to rerun the elections I lost, or shouldn't be making comments like these pardons that were given by the previous administration are invalid because of some reason that I made up that isn't conditional for a pardon to be valid. Like those kind of things, those kind of attacks on the Constitution, I think spits in the face of the people who held that office before him. That take an oath to uphold that document that outlines all of his power.
Okay, well, you know, we had arguably two of the most powerful women in the United States run against Donald Trump. Okay, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, and they couldn't get it done. And it was, especially this term, was massive. The voting pool was huge. I think I saw more people invested in politics than I've ever seen. It was huge. And it really bothers me. I'm not going into conspiracies. I don't want to go deep in it. It takes lives down. But 81 million votes versus Donald Trump's win in the 25th election to 77 million. It's just the numbers don't pan out for me.
Do you understand that we investigated the fuck out of the 2020 election and found absolutely nothing?
It, dude, and I'm glad that he lost. I get it. Okay. Like I said,
so if
I don't know how deep we can go on that.
But if Donald Trump said we should terminate the Constitution to rerun the election that has been investigated out the ass, and they all found, some of which found that the margin that Biden won was larger than the initial reported counts.
There's two investigations going on right now that Donald Trump didn't win this election, dude. You know that, right? Give me a freaking break. It happens on both sides.
Yeah, my problem... Okay? Wait, hold on. Can you tell me what do you think my problem is with that?
What do I think your problem is with that? I think your problem is... I don't know. There's a lot.
Okay,
you know,
so here's my problem.
No, you're talking about Constitution.
You said you don't know. You said you don't know. So let me explain.
No, I did. You said Constitution. Okay?
you said. No, wait. Hold on. You said you didn't know.
Donald
so let me explain
Trump
the problem.
Is calling for the termination of the
yes. Okay, that's the problem. It's not the investigations. The investigations aren't my problem. My investigations aren't the problem. The problem is that we investigated. The problem is we investigated. It came up with nothing, and then Donald Trump said we should terminate the Constitution to rerun the election anyway. That's my problem.
No. Wait a minute.
Okay.
We didn't find that there was nothing. That's a lie.
Okay. What did we find?
Find that there was. The courts found that there wasn't significant evidence to prove otherwise. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, it wasn't that there was no evidence. Don't do that.
Wait, what's the difference?
Don't do that.
What's the difference?
You know there's fraud, but is it to the level where it's going to overturn an election? No. So don't do that. That's disingenuous.
Wait,
right?
Okay. So when I say there's no evidence of election fraud, do you think I'm talking about the 20 people who used a fake ID in all of Georgia? Or do you think I mean it's not enough to sway the result of the election? Do you genuinely think I think that you're genuinely think that I don't believe? The chat of 13 people, we're having a conversation, okay? Ignore that. We are having a conversation, okay? So there was no evidence of widespread fraud. None of the courts found it. None of the auditors found it. None of the state investigators found it. Donald Trump tweets out, or posts on Truth Social, we should terminate the Constitution to rerun that election. Do you understand why I think that's a problem when Donald Trump takes an oath at the beginning of his term to uphold the Constitution?
See, for me, the whole argument of I hear what you said. I'm not running from it. But my issue here is when you get in the weeds that the Constitution is almighty and all perfect, and there needs to be no amendments. then we
No, no, no,
never would have abolished.
no,
We
we're
never would
not
have
talking
abolished
about
slavery.
amendments. We're not talking
Okay.
about amendments. Donald Trump didn't propose an amendment to rerun the election. He said terminate. He didn't say amend. Okay, he didn't propose any amendments. He didn't. There's no actual popular support to allow for the rerunning of elections on the suspicion of the president to rerun the election. Okay, on the suspicion of the president of election fraud. This isn't a good faith attempt to rerun the election that you think there was like systematic problems with. This is terminate all rules, regulations, and articles because I lost the election and no one will tell me that I did. Or because I lost the election, but I think it's fraudulent, but no one else will back me up. That's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, well, back to what do you call it as well. This all ties together. You also brought up, him actively coming against the Langford bill.
Uh-huh.
Are you familiar?
Yeah, I'm fairly familiar with the Langford bill.
Okay, so Donald Trump ran on problems at the border, which there definitely were problems with immigration.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that your party is lost in the idea that our immigration policies are terrible, and that's what the issue is immigration policy. We need, new policy, which is going to cost taxpayers a shit ton more money. Okay.
Yeah.
And so Donald Trump, which Biden could have done this just as easily. I don't understand why Biden didn't say, let's shut this orange-haired guy up and let's just do an executive order and let's seal up the border right now until things calm down.
I can explain why, but the reason is because Donald Trump shutting down the border like he did was probably illegal. Okay? Do you understand that in order to shut down the border, you have to declare an invasion from Mexico in regard to immigrants coming across the southern border?
20 million people coming in this country.
Do you believe that an invasion requires a top-down structure? Like, in order for something to be an invasion, there has to be someone commanding the invasion. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is commanding these people to come across the border?
Actually, Biden was commanding them to come across the border.
Biden was commanding Mexicans to come across the southern border.
Yeah, he said that this was a sanctuary country.
Do you think we should indict Joe Biden for leading an invasion for treason, for leading a Mexican invasion into the U.S.?
I think that the man's crapping his pants and has cancer, and I don't think it's worth it at this point. No.
Well, if he wasn't crapping his pants and had cancer, do you think we should try Joe Biden for treason for leading a Mexican invasion into the U.S.?
If we could tie during his term, immigrants, undocumented immigrants, finding a way into this country because the laws were laxed and there were American citizens that were unalive due to these people coming in. Yes, I think that he should be found guilty.
Okay, so that's insane. Just to let you know, but if the laws were lax, you understand that the president can't just change the law, right? So you admit that we do need new laws because the laws were lax, right?
I think that the laws were being stiffened under Trump's first term. And I think that he was made a mockery due to his predecessor, Joe Biden. And I think that things like Remain in Mexico, a lot of executive orders, a lot of stuff like you said that he hated Muslims due to his travel bans on, I forget, it was like 10 to 12.
Just to be clear, for him saying that we need a complete and total shutdown on Muslims entering the country to see what the fuck is going on. That was the exact quote. That's why people say he hates Muslims. Because if you're calling for a complete and total shutdown of a particular group entering the country, it's fair to say that you probably don't like that group, right?
What religion do you think the guys were following?
Can you answer that question? Wait, hold on. No,
yes,
because
I'm answering it.
Because if you want to say he does hate Muslims, but it's based because I hate Muslims too, then that's fine, okay? But he does though, right? He does hate Muslims, right?
I don't hate Muslims. I hate some of the stuff that they stand for and their religion. Yeah.
Okay,
I think that
Okay.
I think that they have. I think that they have prophets that married 9-year-olds. Okay.
Okay.
And
So can you
I don't
agree?
like. Do you
Can you
like that?
agree
Wait a
that
minute.
if we
Wait a
want?
minute.
Can you
Do you
agree?
like? Do you
Can
like
you
that?
agree? Can you agree? Can you agree
Can you?
that if
I
you're
answered your
calling for,
question. Can
if you're
you
calling
answer
for,
mine?
it's my live, buddy. Can you agree that if you're calling for a complete and total shutdown of
Yeah,
Muslims
but I've
entering the
taken
country,
over.
if you're calling for a complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering the country, you probably don't like Muslims, right?
Again, it's not that I dislike
I'm
Muslims.
not asking you. I'm saying if you are calling for, if this hypothetical person
I
is calling
like
for
the
a complete
rights.
and
I
total
like the
shutdown,
rights of American citizens more.
is it a right of an American citizen to not be near a Muslim?
The right of American citizen to be protected.
American citizen to not be near a Muslim.
It's the right of Americans.
I got an echo, buddy. I got an echo, buddy. Lift your phone up.
You hear me now?
1 2 1 2. Yeah, you're good.
Hello, hello.
Yep, you're good. You're good. You're good. Okay.
It's the right of an American citizen to be protected by the country that they reside in. Okay, that's what the point is. Okay, and if you want to
threatened by a Muslim being here,
it's threatened by an idea, a way of life that wants to unalive Christians, a Christian nation. Okay, and we are founded upon Christian values. This country, whether you like it or not.
Do you think it's an
You're
American's
probably an
right?
atheist, right?
Yes, I am an atheist.
Atheist.
Do you think it's an
Wow,
American's
shock.
Do you think it's an American's right? By the way, you haven't refuted almost literally anything I've said. All right, I let you walk off of the Constitution claim, even though you completely ran away from that. Okay, so please stop with the pivots. Please stop with the pivots. Please stop with the pivots. Okay. Do you agree that it's an American's right to not be around a Muslim? Is that an American's right?
What?
Is it the right of an American to not be around a Muslim?
Can I think about that question?
I hope you don't need to think much about that question.
I mean, I don't think that you can tell somebody unless you have a restraining order.
What I'm asking is,
you can or can't be.
It's
just a weird question.
Is it an infringement on Americans' rights to let Muslims into the country?
It could be, yes.
Okay. Okay. Listen. What do you say to that?